My beloved child, a trembling message is rising in your spirit right now, and it is no coincidence that your eyes have been guided here in this exact moment. Archangel Michael is standing closer to you than you have felt in months. The same words that shook the heavens are being whispered by him. Now is an emergency. There are 16 seconds left. It is not 16 minutes, not 16 hours. It took 16 seconds in the spirit. The countdown has already begun. And you are hearing this now that the curtain has been lifted on your future. Hold your breath for a moment, because this message isn't a threat of destruction. There is a revelation ready to save you from something you didn't even see coming. I saw their future and couldn't stop crying, said Archangel Michael. But pay close attention. Fear did not cause him to cry. Due to divine urgency, he cried out, because before the shift of today, what was hidden in your life is now being exposed. It wasn't okay for him to show you this before today. Before now, heaven itself had kept this secret. The command has, however, now been released. Tell them to open it now. Also, this message is for you, kid. The decision you have been delaying, the spiritual attack that has been waiting for the right weakness to strike, and the place where you sleep are all currently subject to a spiritual countdown. Your focus, energy, or peace have been being taken away by someone or something. At night, your chest has been experiencing an unexplainable pressure. The feeling that something is wrong around you, but you cannot put your finger on it, or sudden anxiety. That was not creativity. It wasn't a coincidence. Archangel Michael has been attempting to send you that spiritual signal for weeks. Heaven knew what was going to happen behind your back. Someone thought you would never see a doorway, a conversation about you, or a choice that involved you. Child, this is where the shift starts, Archangel Michael warned. If they don't hear this now, their path will become out of alignment. Archangel Michael couldn't tell you this earlier because your spirit wasn't in the right place. People and things that were never meant to be so close to your soul took your attention away, made you tired, and drained your spirit. Now, though, something has changed, a prayer that you said in a whisper and no one heard. Heaven said, now they are ready. Now they must hear it. After you offered a moment of surrender in your loneliness, today is more than a date. It is a place of spiritual checkpoint. At this point, your old timeline and your new destiny will meet. This is something from your past that has been following you around, an unfinished cycle, a relationship that left a wound, a betrayal you still don't talk about, or a fear you continue to conceal from other people. Archangel Michael is telling us that it finally breaks today. There is a rise before it breaks, he cried when he saw your future because of this. He saw you on the verge of breakthrough, but also on the verge of being pulled back by the very thing you thought you had escaped. But now you must not miss this revelation. Heaven isn't telling you this to scare you. Heaven is showing you this to give you strength. Your life has been guarded by Archangel Michael's sword of clarity. The truth about someone's intentions will start to become apparent. A shift in energy will be apparent in that person. When you enter a certain room, talk to a certain person, or consider a choice you have been delaying, you will feel the tightening of the countdown. As today gets closer, this is your spiritual alarm clock, going off louder and louder. Right now, there are two realms fighting over you. Someone wants to push you back, someone wants to pull you forward. At this point in time, you are at a prophetic crossroads. You have been demanding a sign from God. For clarity, you have been pleading with heaven. Your wait for confirmation is over. Kid, this is that confirmation. Now is that time. That sign is here. You are being led by Archangel Michael through a divine unveiling. One that will show you who to trust, who to release, and what to prepare for. And I want you to understand this well. Your spirit already knows something is about to shift sharply, which is why you are listening to this at this very moment. Your dreams have changed. Your intuition is now very sharp. Your emotions have been shaky. Your sensitivity has grown. There is no instability here. This is a revelation. Something is meant just for you. It is finally time for something powerful, destined, and that heaven has been watching over for years to come true. But the interference needs to be taken care of first. There needs to be no more delay. The hidden goal needs to be made public, and with divine precision, Archangel Michael is here to assist you. Do not leave this message. In the next part, you will hear something that will finally explain all the strange feelings you have had lately. Wait a minute. Now you have seen the surface of this revelation. The next part will go deeper than you think. Before we go to the next level, I need you to ground yourself in this moment, while heaven waits for your response. Your spirit is listening. In the comments, type one word that represents your faith. As a sign that you are ready to receive what Archangel Michael is unveiling, type Amen. You are not just leaving a comment when you type it. By signing this, you agree to work with heaven. Your Amen should rise as a sign to the spirit world that you are prepared for the truth that is about to come out. You are saying, I am awake, I am ready, I am receiving. Do it right now before the next part starts. Dear chosen soul, there is a shaking in the air right now. A warm touch on the shoulders makes you feel like someone is standing behind you if you pay close attention. That presence isn't a fluke. You have been feeling unsafe, uncertain, or exposed. And now Archangel Michael has stepped into your timeline and spread his wings over those places. The revelation he is showing you now builds on what he said earlier in a whisper. There are 16 seconds left. Tell them before they start their shift. Right now is a more fragile time in your life than you think. You are on a spiritual fault line that is about to split and reveal everything that has been hidden behind the scenes. Not because you are weak. It feels like something heavy is coming toward you, something that wakes you up in the middle of the night. Your dreams are louder, your instincts sharper, and your sensitivity to other people's energy has increased. Not overthinking this. There is no anxiety here. Before the events of today take shape, heaven is getting you ready to see the truth behind someone's behavior. Silence, sudden distance, or unexpected closeness. This is Archangel Michael tugging at your spirit and saying, look again. Something is not what it seems. Things have changed for you in the last few days. Shifts in tone, subtle comments, unusual reactions, or emotional heaviness that appears out of nowhere. These events are not coincidences at all. These are signs, indicators, and divine warnings wrapped in everyday moments. Archangel Michael has been softening your senses so you can pick up on someone who isn't as good-hearted as they act. This is the truth. Someone close to you has been harboring unspoken ideas or intentions. They smile, but their spirit is weak. While they talk nicely, their energy pulls away from you. Their presence drains your peace, like air escaping from a balloon, despite the fact that they appear supportive. Although you had no proof, you had been feeling this contradiction for a while, but dismissed it. Now Archangel Michael is stepping forward because the time is running out, and the exposure is coming up faster than you think. Your environment is under a spiritual pressure this week. Something might have felt tight in your chest. Objects falling suddenly, sudden waves of emotion, or random thoughts that don't make sense. These feelings are not just random symptoms. In the unseen realm, they are the tremors of something bursting. Archangel Michael has been circling your home, examining the entry points into your life, and getting ready to strike down the hidden darkness that has been watching you silently. It is possible that you have felt watched lately, but not by eyes. It could be an energy that stays with you when you walk into a room or when you are by yourself with your thoughts. This is because the spirit world around you has been very active to understand. Archangel Michael says, you are not in danger. You are in transition. Everything that was concealed is always made public during transition. Someone said something to you not long ago that you didn't pay much attention to because it came out of their mouth too quickly. That was the first crack. The second crack appeared when, after speaking with them, you noticed an unexpected shift in your spirit. When you played back a conversation and saw that something wasn't right. The third crack showed up, because the truth will rise to the surface, like oil on water. Archangel Michael is directing you to reflect deeply. But now comes the powerful part. This exposure isn't meant to break you. It is meant to free you. The purpose of it is meant to protect you. It is meant to prepare you for what heaven is going to bring into your life in the next few weeks. You have been praying for protection, clarity, stability, and a breakthrough with God. That is the answer. The breakthrough is the exposure. The protection comes from the revelation. The clarity comes from the unveiling. A spirit attachment attempting to cling to your life has been observed by Archangel Michael. A past decision, a past trauma, or a past relationship gave rise to something. Over time, it has been weakening, but it has been waiting for one last opportunity to pull you backward. Heaven has kept this message sealed until now because of this. You wouldn't have seen the signs if you had heard it earlier. But now, your intuition is sharper, your discernment is sharper, and your spirit is to receive what you were once too drained to understand. This is what Archangel Michael wants you to know. The pressure in your home is real. It is not in your head that there is tension in a connection. You are not making up the sudden emotion shifts. These are signs of spiritual interference that is losing its grip as the truth approaches its moment of exposure. Today is not the day that bad things happen. Something that was hidden collapses today. The light that is coming will not stand up to anything that was built on pretense, deception, or manipulation. A gesture, message, conversation, or a moment of silence will reveal everything very soon. Your spirit will be able to see Archangel Michael's hand in it right away because it will be so clear, undeniable, and sharp. You will know why he cried when he saw your future when that time comes. Instead, it is out of love, compassion, relief, or fear. He did this because he knew that once the exposure happened, your life would shift into alignment faster than you thought. Come stay with me. Your next revelation will open a door in your understanding that you didn't even know was locked. The message gets deeper in a way that will speak to your spirit, so you will want to hear what comes next. Beloved, something is stirring inside you right now. Even when you try to distract yourself, a whisper keeps coming back. It is the same whisper that Archangel Michael used when he said, "I saw their future, and I couldn't stop crying." The atmosphere around you is beginning to shift once more. You might even feel a subtle pull in your chest, like something is telling you to pay attention to something. This is because the spirit veil is about to thin, and Archangel Michael is about to reveal a deeper part of the message he was forbidden to show you up until now. This season has been one in which your spirit has been more awake than your mind knew. Every disappointment, delay, strange interaction, and sudden emotion have all been tied to something invisible that has been taking place behind the scenes. Guarding your path is Archangel Michael. He couldn't talk for a long time, though. He could only gently nudge you, warn you, give you dreams that felt symbolic, or shift your life through abrupt shifts that you didn't understand at the time. But right now, permission has been given. Unseal it, heaven has said. Show what was hidden before. You are surrounded by a spirit pattern. It seems like something in your life keeps returning in cycles. People who come back only to leave again. Opportunities show up, but then they fall through. Feelings calm down, and then suddenly come back up. Archangel Michael is stepping forward to deal with this repeating pattern. Today is the day that the pattern breaks. The root, however, must be exposed before the pattern breaks. The image of a doorway is what Archangel Michael is showing me. One that you walk through again and again, expecting a different room. But each time you open it, it leads to the same hallway with the same repeated lessons. This doorway stands for an emotional attachment, a fear you haven't discussed, or a belief you hold without realizing it that has shaped your decisions. You still hear someone else's words from the past echoing inside of you. There is still a shadow in your memory from someone's betrayal. Your chest still feels like an unanswered question after someone's abandonment. A part of you remains suspended in that moment, unable to fully step forward, even though you were healed on the outside. Archangel Michael cried when he saw you standing in that doorway, ready to move into a future full of clarity, abundance, love, and spiritual authority. But still tethered by something you didn't know how to release. You were trying to run in the timeline, but something kept pulling at your ankles. Because the past continued to whisper louder than your destiny, he saw the future where you almost missed a divine opportunity. But, as a result of this message, tether is weakening now. Someone nearby has experienced a subtle energy shift. Your spirit noticed, but not in a way that anyone else would. In your conversations with them, you experienced a distance, hesitation, or odd pressure. The person at the center of the spiritual misalignment that has been affecting you, according to Archangel Michael, is this person. Not necessarily because they are bad, but rather because their intentions towards you have not been pure, stable, or aligned with the path heaven is calling you to walk. This person has been wrestling internally, unsure whether to stay close to you or to distance themselves. They have had a fight in their spirit. Their decisions have been all over the place. As a result, their presence in your life is no longer stable, because their indecision slows down your spiritual progress. Archangel Michael has been watching this conflict. Your path becomes foggy when someone connected to your life isn't aligned. Your atmosphere absorbs it when someone who is meant to support you carries confusion. You felt this, even though you couldn't put your finger on it. The heaviness following certain conversations, the emotional drop following certain events, and the sudden sense that something feels off. Today will bring something to the surface. Something that has been kept in silence will come forward as a truth, revelation, or shift. Someone's words, their absence, or their unexpected reaction may all be manifestations. This will be the exact moment the countdown ends, because your spirit will feel lighter all of a sudden. All of a sudden, your mind will feel better. All of a sudden, your emotional space will feel open, like a knot that has been tied for years finally comes loose. This is what Archangel Michael wants you to know. You are not losing anything. The two of you are being protected. You are not being turned down. You are being sent somewhere else. You are not being left behind. You are being put in place. The exposure is not a punishment. It is getting ready. There is a new alignment, connection, chapter, and peace that cannot be shaken by someone else's instability that heaven is setting up for you. You are going to get something powerful. The only reason this exposure is happening now is that heaven will not let anything unstable get into your blessing. That is the reason Archangel Michael cried. He knew what was best for you. He saw how big it is, he saw how close it was, and knew that anything or anyone that wasn't grounded would fall apart when your destiny hit. Keep reading, because what is going to happen next will show you the exact sign Archangel Michael will send you before the exposure. Know this before you scroll away. When the next revelation comes, everything becomes very clear. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe before we go on. It helps more souls get the warning and protection that heaven is sending out this season, if this message speaks to you. In the comments, type, "I walk into truth." Blessing code 5572 has been activated if this is stirring your heart. Your support opens doors for many others who are looking for God's voice in their darkest times, just like this message has opened a door in your spirit. You are not giving to a channel when you invest in this mission. You are bringing light into the lives of souls who, like you, are on the verge of breakthrough. The Bible says that those who make other people feel better will feel better themselves. That promise is now alive and active in your life. I feel led to say this straight out. I want to invite you. Heaven is reminding you that generosity breaks spiritual cycles and releases new oil into your future through this message. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our KOF community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. Dear child of God's purpose, what you are feeling right now is not confusion. It is waking up. The next level of revelation is being opened by Archangel Michael, and with it comes the understanding you have been waiting for, an understanding that will finally make sense of the past few weeks, conversations, and emotional shifts. As you read this message, you might feel waves of heat, chills, or even a sudden sense of calm. Archangel Michael is lining up your spirit with the truth so that nothing else will surprise you. Heaven knows how much you have been going through. Weight that no one saw because you were so good at hiding it. Your smile hid how tired you were. Disappointment was hidden by your silence. There was a pain behind your ribs, but your strength covered it up. But Archangel Michael didn't see any of that. He could see how your spirit lost its brightness after some events. When someone spoke to you in a tone that did not match their intentions, he observed how your energy began to shift. He saw how your dreams got darker at night when you thought about a certain person. He also knew that if he didn't step in now, you would keep walking with emotional shadows that were never meant to follow you into your next season. Right now, there is a spiritual law at work in your life. Before breakthrough comes, anything that is hidden has to come to the surface. This is why you felt like the air around you is unstable. This is the reason why people have been acting different. This is the reason you have had sudden intuitions. Even when nothing seemed to be going on, your spirit would whisper, "Pay attention." This clarity has been coming to you step by step with the help of Archangel Michael. Someone in your environment has been acting from a place of insecurity or hidden fear, he is showing me. They were confused, But instead of talking about it, they let it show through silence, distance, or mixed signals. You felt their hesitation, and it hurt you more than you realized. Not because you needed them, but because you thought the connection would be more stable than it was. Their lack of consistency has sent spiritual waves. There were ripples that sometimes made you lose your motivation, your confidence, or both. Many times you may have asked yourself, why did they change? What did I do wrong? Why does it feel like they are hiding something? Why am I suddenly so sensitive around them? These thoughts were not caused by fear. Because they were wise, they were born. Your spirit saw things that your eyes couldn't. According to Archangel Michael, you could really feel a shift. When they talked, there was real pressure in your chest. The sudden distance was real. It wasn't your energy that made them look confused. It was theirs that got into you. This energy is now being exposed. It is not about calling someone good or bad with this exposure. Your destiny needs to be safeguarded. Heaven shows what people hide, and in your case, something concealed has been preventing you from receiving the blessings that should have already reached you. Something spiritual has been getting in the way of your emotional clarity. Archangel Michael is now clearing the spiritual fog that was around your path. Because of someone's indecision, it looks like you are standing at the edge of a field with two paths in front of you, one lit up brightly and one dimly. For as long as you tried to pick the brighter path, something kept pulling you toward the darker one. That weight was the emotional leftovers of an unaligned connection. There was always a memory, a worry, or a bit of confusion that stopped you in your tracks every time you tried to move forward. Every time you were ready to move forward, something stopped you. You tried to separate yourself from them, but something kept drawing your thoughts back to them. Archangel Michael has now stepped in to help you break this pattern because your spirit is ready to do so. This isn't just a date for fortune telling. It is the time when someone cannot hide what has been hidden in their heart any longer. Whether it be through an unplanned conversation, an emotional release, a sudden confession, or even a change in tone or behavior, the truth will come out. This truth isn't meant to break you. It is meant to free you from the weight you have been carrying in silence. In order to bring clarity and completion, Archangel Michael is getting your heart ready for a revelation. There was no heartbreak, no completion, no rejection, no loss, and no alignment. Heaven's chest has been meticulously rating events. People have suddenly been taken off your path, a shift in opportunities. You have been removed from an environment that is not conducive to your development. It felt sudden, but everything was building up to this moment of clarity. Your spirit has grown up. Your intuition is no longer disregarded. Your inner knowing is no longer kept in silence. Because of this spiritual growth, Archangel Michael was finally able to say what he had been keeping from people. You should be ready for what comes next, because the next shift is really, really big. A new season is almost ready to start. One where the truth leads you instead of confusion, where your energy goes up, your strength comes back, and your heart can finally breathe. Hold still for a moment and let your spirit take in this truth before we move on to the next revelation. There is nothing in your life that is meant for the journey ahead. What is coming next will not make you shrink, doubt, or question your worth either. As you read these words, Holy One, your spirit is opening up like a window to let in the first light of dawn. You are experiencing an internal shift that you cannot fully describe. Still, it is as clear to you as your own heartbeat. Archangel Michael is getting closer and will lead you through the deeper parts of this revelation. The things he is about to show you are more than just facts. It is getting ready. Protection is offered. Being in alignment with your destiny is what you are doing. You have been feeling tense inside for days, weeks, or even months, and haven't been able to figure it out. What your heart wanted and what your spirit knew were at odds with each other. The words and energy of different people made you feel different. You could tell that they were hiding something from you because of what they showed you. But why does this still feel heavy, was your question every time they talked about care. That feeling of weight was Archangel Michael's warning. Heaven was trying to nudge you toward truth with that whisper of unease. The spiritual world always knows things that the physical world hasn't told us yet. Even before someone did something that showed signs of instability, heaven saw the thought they had about you. Heaven could see that this person was emotionally confused, even though they tried to hide it with charm, silence, or something else. Even if they kept smiling, heaven knew when their intentions began to shift, and heaven understood how their uncertainty would affect your heart if the truth wasn't exposed in time. Not from danger, but from being out of alignment, Archangel Michael has been watching over you, from picking someone whose spirit wasn't stable enough to walk with your destiny. Give your energy to someone who is still fighting their own demons, from putting your heart into someone who couldn't meet you where you were at in your calling, which is why things felt strange, even though they didn't seem to be. This is why your spiritual senses became very sharp all of a sudden. That is why little things began to bother you, things you ignored before. Your soul started to understand something that your mind hadn't thought about yet. Child, the truth is easy to understand. Your spirit knew a long time before your eyes did. Archangel Michael shows me a picture of your spirit standing tall and bright, while the energy of the person who is connected to you moves back and forth like light flickering. Inconsistency, fear, confusion, and inner turmoil are all shown by their flicker. They don't know how to talk about how they feel. They still have wounds that will not heal. They have things that they need to do. They have doubts that they haven't told anyone about. Instead of being honest, they let you feel the emotional noise of their fight with themselves. You thought that static was anxiety, as if you were overthinking it. You thought of it as fear. It made you feel confused, but you didn't own any of it. This is being taken away from you by Archangel Michael right now. His job is to clean your spirit of the emotional residue of someone else's chaos. Even as you read this, you might feel like weights are falling off your chest and making you feel lighter. That is not making up stories. That is the start of healing. Today is coming up like a divine spotlight. It is not a terrible day. Today is an unveiling day, when the truth breaks through the shadows. A word, a moment of silence, a sudden change in their behavior, or a situation that makes them look bad, will bring something to the surface. You will not be broken by this revelation. It will set you free. Everything your intuition whispered will be confirmed. It will explain why heaven steps in so strongly. Something powerful takes place once this truth is shown. Emotional fog clears. Confusion fades, spiritual weight falls, and all of a sudden clarity fills the room. You will have a new view of yourself. It will change how much you think you are worth. You will have a different view of the future. That moment of exposure is when your destiny grows. There is nothing wrong with your ability to love. Archangel Michael wants you to know you love deeply, because that is how you are. Your heart is pure, so you cared, because your spirit trusts, you believed. These are good points, not bad ones. It was only out of alignment because the person you were connected to wasn't stable enough to understand how sincere you were. But there is something amazing going on in heaven. There is more to the exposure than just clarity. For me, it means a new spiritual path. As soon as this truth comes to the surface, your life will open up to someone new who is aligned, grounded, and spiritually mature. You will start to attract people who are aligned with your destiny. There will be more chances to do things. It will give you more energy. Your peace will get stronger. Your attention will come back. This will make you feel like you can finally breathe again. There has already been a shift. Your dreams have changed. Your emotions are getting better. Your intuition is becoming increasingly sharp. Your spirit is getting ready. During this transition, Archangel Michael is on guard. He raises his sword for protection, not for battle. He is cutting the last spiritual ties that hold you to chaos. Your future will become clear again as soon as these cords break. Do not leave this message. You are now in the part where you can see the exact sign that Archangel Michael will send you. You will want to know everything because figuring out this sign will help you make the right move. Next, do not worry, beloved soul. Your spirit is shaking quietly right now. As Archangel Michael draws you deeper into the revelation, you feel a soft awakening. What you feel in your chest, that soft pull, that rising weight or lightness, is the truth getting ready to settle. A lot of people never get to this point of spiritual clarity because they ignore the early warnings, the subtle signs, and the inner whispers. You didn't ignore them, though. You could feel them before you could name it. You could feel the change. Your sensitivity is exactly why Archangel Michael was finally able to bring you to the next level. This is the truth. Heaven has been very careful about how things happen in your life, getting rid of what makes you weak, showing you what makes you confused, and making what was once fragile inside of you stronger. That emotional stress you were feeling wasn't a sign of weakness. It was turning around. What you felt of unease was not instability. Anything that wasn't meant to follow you forward was being pushed back by spiritual alignment. Also, the silence you were in not long ago was not emptiness. It was getting ready. Archangel Michael reveals to me a subtle shift in your life. Your spirit knows that something is coming, even though you cannot see the whole picture yet. A moment, a change, or a revelation that will shape the next part of your journey. You might feel nervous sometimes and eerily calm other times. That change is a part of the spiritual adjustment you are going through. There is someone in your life whose presence has been a little hard to predict. Their words are softer now, but it is harder to tell how they feel. They feel close sometimes, they sometimes feel far away. They seem interested sometimes and not interested other times. This lack of consistency has not happened by chance. It is shown how hard things are for them on the inside. Archangel Michael tells them they have something inside them that they haven't said, something that keeps them emotionally bound in a place that is not aligned with where you are going, such as a fear, a responsibility, a guilt, a desire they cannot give up. Their mixed energy is what making your spirit feel bad. You don't get lost. You have good judgment. You are not overthinking the situation, what you are perceiving. You are not making things up. You are awake in a spiritual way. Even when people didn't say anything, you could always tell when someone's spirit was changing. That kind of sensitivity is a good thing, not a bad thing. You are being led to the truth by it right now. When you talked to them, you felt heavy, excited for a short time, and then doubt grew stronger after some interactions. Those were spiritual signals. What you felt was real, and things that seemed stable on the outside had cracks hidden inside. This is what Archangel Michael has been trying to show you. Here, though the revelation gets stronger, this person is not the only one who will receive exposure. It is about you. It is about changing into a different person. The person you have been slowly becoming behind the hurt. The disappointment, the misunderstandings, and the waiting is what this book is about. Your spiritual life has been getting stronger in ways that not even you are fully aware of. As you cried, you became better. Every delay kept you safe. Every disappointment changed where you went. You got sharper with every confusion. From now on, you will not put up with half-truths, emotional instability, or spiritual misalignment. Anyone who is unsure of their intentions toward you will be revealed right away as you are rising to clarity with such authority. That is why the exposure is happening. Heaven will not let vague people bring you into a destiny that needs accuracy. Archangel Michael takes me to a scene. You are standing in the middle of a room full of shadows that shift. As one shadow falls on top of another, only the truth is left shining. That is what is going on now. Illusions are breaking down. Tenses are wearing off. Emotions that were suppressed are coming to the surface. After all of this, the spiritual fog is lifting, and your spirit is getting stronger. Archangel Michael also wants you to understand something else. How strongly your emotions have been rising lately, whether it is anxiety, pressure, sadness, confusion, or sudden moments of peace. It all contributes to your spiritual calibration, because your soul is getting used to new frequencies. It is letting go of old energetic connections that made you feel safe but no longer fit who you are becoming. Your spirit may have been tired lately, not your body. That is because your spirit has been working hard. You may have felt alone sometimes, even when other people were around. That is because heaven took a break from you to help you get back in touch with yourself. From someone you used to feel close to, you might have suddenly felt a distance. Their misalignment was something your spirit knew, but your heart wasn't ready to face it yet. But the veil is now coming off. Today is coming up. And with it comes the moment when the truth will cut through everything. Something will be said, done, revealed, or quietly acknowledged that will cause a shift in the entire environment. It might not be very exciting. It could be something else. But there will be no doubt about it. You will feel a shift, a release, a lightness, a clarity, and a confirmation in your spirit as soon as it happens. This is what Archangel Michael wants you to remember. You are not going to get hurt by the exposure. You are being freed from emotional knots that have been holding you back on your spiritual path. As the season changes, only the truth will last. There can only be alignment. There can only be stability. Every connection that is ambiguous will be exposed. Every secret plan will be made public. Every emotion you haven't said will come out. There will be no more spiritual distractions. Keep this message close by. The next revelation will spell out the exact sign that will show up before the truth comes out. You will want to pay close attention to what comes next. Something is changing in the air around you right now. Right now, do you feel it? That tight feeling behind your eyes, that warmth in your chest, and that sudden need to speak up. Now is your chance to take part. Not just watch. In the comments, type these words. I receive the truth. Not a, I want to receive. Not a, I hope I receive. Rather, I receive the truth. Say it like you know it. Be sure when you write it, because you type those words, you open a door in your own spirit. You are telling heaven it is okay to show what it has been hiding. As you step out of the fog, divine clarity fills the room. Type it now before the next layer shows up. As you enter this moment, dear soul, take a few deep breaths. The air around you is dense with meaning. Now, Archangel Michael is leading you into one of the most delicate parts of this revelation. This part goes deep into your spirit. Everything you felt, every emotional tremor, every intuitive whisper, and every sudden flash of clarity has been leading you to what is happening now. Something in your spirit knows it is getting close to the truth. It can feel the weight of what has been buried coming to the surface. Now is the right time for heaven to prepare you so you will not miss the sign when it comes. Not only have the people around you been paying close attention, but Archangel Michael has also been keeping an eye on your internal shifts. He has seen how the truth has begun to settle in your chest, like a soft, steady light. Things are starting to look different to you. You can hear what people are saying below their words. You are becoming more aware of what your spirit responds to, even when your mind tries to ignore it. The level of sensitivity is not random. It is not a mess of feelings. It wakes up the spirit. There is no going back from the way you are awakening to clarity. Since recently, something strange has been going on inside you. Some memories keep coming back to you, even ones you thought you had forgotten. Sometimes, conversations play over and over in your mind for no reason. There are some interactions that feel heavier than they should. This is your spirit taking in the truth before your mind fully grasps it. Archangel Michael is getting rid of the emotional junk that was getting in the way of your seeing things clearly. Your inner sight is getting sharper quickly as he does this. It is like a spiritual veil is getting thinner over you. When this happens, signs start to show up more often, and nothing seems like a coincidence anymore. The right time for a message to arrive. Without warning, a thought flows through your mind. Someone's tone changes all of a sudden. The presence of someone makes me feel different. The silence of someone gets louder. These events are not coincidences at all. These are warnings. These are warnings that look like quiet moments. Someone in your life has reached the point where they can no longer conceal what they once concealed, according to Archangel Michael. They have made an effort to conceal their emotions, their uncertainty, and their intentions. Even though their spirit is trembling, they have tried to remain calm. But conflicts within a company cannot always be hidden. What the physical world tries to hide is always shown by the spiritual realm. You may have noticed that when they speak to you, their energies shift. Even though your words sound like they are from before, there is something different about them. Where there once was assurance, there is now hesitation. Where there used to be closeness, there is now distance. There is no longer stability where there used to be it. These signs aren't wrong. They are the first pieces of a bigger revelation. Archangel Michael shows me a picture of a curtain slowly being pulled back, letting light in through the cracks. There will be exposure. But it will not happen all at once. You have already noticed those subtle signs that gently prepare your heart. Even if you didn't believe in yourself or thought you might be dreaming, your spirit was right. It has always been that way. However, this is where the revelation gets stronger. You are not the only one seeing signs from Archangel Michael. He is getting you ready to see the one sign that will prove everything. This sign lets you leave the fog of doubt behind and enter the light of certainty. You will experience a sudden shift in your environment just before the exposure begins. In the middle of a conversation, or when there is silence, it can happen. It could happen when you are thinking about this person, or when you are thinking about something else. You will feel it though. It will hit your spirit like a pause, like time stops for a moment. After that, something strange will happen. Either they will reach out unexpectedly, or they will withdraw more sharply. Or they will say something that reveals their truth, or they will act in a way that goes against everything they have ever said, or their silence will suddenly feel louder than any explanation. At this point, the curtain will fully rise. This is the sign that Archangel Michael has been getting you ready for. Your spirit will understand right away when this happens. It is not going to feel like chaos. To you, it will feel like confirmation. This is the truth, will feel like a whisper from inside. Why did you need to see this? You will not break when it comes. You are not going to break. You will rise because your spirit has been getting ready for this for a long time. Even before Archangel Michael told you the message. What is coming is not a loss. It is a release. This revelation is the last key to emotional clarity that will set you up for the elevation that is waiting on the other side. There is something very important that Archangel Michael wants you to know. That person's uncertainty was never meant to be on you. You were never meant to be worn down by other people's confusion. To make room for someone who doesn't know how to stand up straight yet. You were never meant to shrink. The spiritual ties that bound you to instability are being cut by him, and nothing will stop you once those cords are completely cut. Your strength is coming back. More clarity is coming to you. Your destiny is about to appear. Your spirit is moving forward. Do not leave this message. The next layer will not only explain what the next sign means, but it will also show you what heaven has planned for after it. Believe what I say. Who knows? The next words might be just what your heart has been waiting for. As you move into the next part of the message, beloved, the air feels thicker and clearer at the same time. You are getting closer to the heart of the revelation, where truth and destiny meet, because Archangel Michael is moving you there. You might feel something strange coming up inside you, a stirring in your chest, a light pressure or a quiet anticipation that grows with each word. That is not the same thing as anxiety. It is alignment. It is your spirit getting ready for what it has been waiting for. You have been being led gently, piece by piece, through the maze of your own emotions by heaven. Even if your mind hasn't caught up yet, you have been going through a lot of change, uncertainty, and sudden insights that came to you like lightning bolts. But kid, those flashes weren't just happening. They were bits and pieces of the truth that Archangel Michael could not tell you all at once. Your heart wouldn't have been ready if he had shown you everything earlier. But now, your spirit is bigger. The veil can now be lifted with more confidence. Right now, you need to know that the spiritual world always shows signs before the physical world does. You felt a shift before you could see anything. That is why you could tell someone was holding back before they said it. This is why, even when they tried to look stable, you could feel how confused they were. It wasn't all in your head. You could feel it. You could sense a spiritual truth before it came to the surface. Through revelation, not force. Archangel Michael has been getting you ready to stand in a place of clarity. Now he is showing me a picture of a thin, fragile thread that used to connect you emotionally to someone. Weeks have passed with this thread weakening. The thread was coming undone with every intuitive whisper, uneasy moment, and sudden emotion shift. Because heaven never intended for a fragile thread to carry the weight of your purpose, not because you or they failed. This is the truth. Your life's exposure isn't just about someone's intentions. It has to do with where you stand spiritually. You are being taken to a place where confusion cannot exist. Your consciousness is being raised to a level where emotional instability is not possible. No, this is not a punishment. Right here is protection. This is heaven making sure that there is nothing weak or uncertain between you and what is coming. Archangel, what Michael tells you is that the sign you are about to see will not only confirm what you felt, but it will also open a spiritual doorway you have been waiting for without realizing it. The atmosphere around you will change for a split second, a sudden shift. This moment could come from a text message, a conversation, a moment of silence, or even something you see without meaning to. When it does come, though, your spirit will know right away. not with fear or sadness, but with a peace that no one saw coming. That peace is signed by Archangel Michael to whisper. He does it that way. This is the truth. Come forward now. This is what you need to prepare for. Once the moment of exposure is over, you will feel a release of emotions. Something that felt stuck will now come loose. Things that felt heavy will get lighter. Something that was hard to understand will become clear in an instant. When you are clear, it will feel like warm water in your chest. That is when you will understand why nothing went the way you thought it would. It was because heaven didn't want you to start a life with someone who wasn't emotionally or spiritually aligned with your call. Archangel, gentle reminder from Michael that you deserve someone whose spirit stays strong, not someone whose spirit changes. You should be with someone who knows how you feel, not someone who is lost in their own thoughts. You deserve someone who makes things calm down, not more chaos. Someone who is as loyal as you are. A person whose presence lifts your spirit instead of lowering it. Someone whose energy does not shift with each new fear or wound that is not healing. And since heaven is aware of the scope of your destiny, anything or anyone uncertain cannot stay connected. That is why the exposure is coming. It is not being turned down. It is a direction change. That means that God has cleared a way for your blessings to come into your life, what you cannot see yet. But what the Archangel Michael is making it clear that a new season starts after this exposure. This is the kind of season when alignment is easy. Relationships become easier to see. The links get stronger. Chances start to come up without any resistance. The energy in your emotions gets lighter and sharper. You feel stronger in spirit. It becomes undeniable how valuable you are. You are about to enter one of your journey's most important transitions. Stay close. Pay attention. This next level will reveal to you both what will be released from your life and what heaven is getting ready to bring you. Don't turn your head away now. The next revelation will not only talk about the present, but also about the future. Before we go on, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help get this message to those who need it right away. When you talk to other people, you become a prophetic alignment carrier for them. More powerful than liking or commenting, though, is something else. Something with a blessing that affects not only your life, but also the lives of everyone you know. Sharing this message is what I mean. I want you to share this video right now, as you can feel the truth stirring in your spirit. Someone you love should receive it. Put it on your story. Put it somewhere that people in your network can see it. Someone else will have a breakthrough when you share this prophetic word. And there is a law in heaven that cannot be broken. People who spread light will never be in the dark themselves. The blessings that come through this message will come back to you in a bigger way. Share this right now and see how God starts to move in ways you didn't expect. Type, "I received the shift" in the comments if you can feel this happening in your own life. The blessing code 3345 is now active. Do one more thing while that code settles over your spirit. On this video, click the like button. Let it be more than just a one-time thing. I accept this blessing. I receive this protection. I welcome God's favor into my life. Each like is a spiritual sign. The enemy will know that you stand with this truth. It lets heaven know you are ready for more. Those who respect what God releases receive his favor. Feel that favor start to move in your direction as you press, like right now. Your support helps protect thousands more who are going through silent storms in their hearts. Just like this message has helped protect your spirit. You are not giving to a creator when you invest in this mission. For someone who might be just one message away from breakthrough, you are reaching out a hand from heaven. What the Lord says about you, people who put their all into my work will never be empty. And today, that promise comes true in your air. I have a strong urge to say this. I want to invite you. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our KOF community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith. And as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. As you move on to the next part of the message, dear soul, the spiritual air around you starts to thicken with truth. Archangel Michael is helping you understand things better, one that connects every intuitive whisper, every emotional shift, and every odd moment of awareness you have had lately. Even now, you might feel tense, alert, or strangely prepared inside of you. That tension inside you is not fear. Honor is what it is. What you are about to hear is linked to a truth you have been feeling, but not being able to put into words. Your spirit already knows this. I have been seeing Archangel Michael, who told me that the exposure that is coming to your life is not a small moment. The spiritual center is there, a split second between the person you were and the person you are about to become. The deeper revelation is about you, your growth, your elevation, and your destiny, even though it may look like the exposure is about someone else. You have given someone who has been uncertain too much emotional space for too long. You showed sincerity, but they only showed hesitation. While they were still confused, you gave them clarity. You put your trust in them while they watched out for you, while their presence changed like tides. You tried to stay the same. Your spirit has been quietly drained by this imbalance, and until recently, you had no idea how much you were carrying. That weariness, that weight, and that inner conflict you felt were never yours to carry. It happened because they were aligned with someone who wasn't aligned with themselves. This person has been struggling with their own emotions, fears, and insecurities. Archangel Michael is now revealing they have been torn between how they feel and what they can handle, from what they want to lose to what they fear losing. There was a battle going on inside them that they tried to hide, which was shown by their silence, mixed signals, and distance. But when heaven is involved, what is hidden cannot stay hidden. Things that people try to hide will always be shown in the spiritual realm. In recent weeks, you may have had times when your heart felt confused, but your spirit felt strong. There may have been times when you felt a shift, but couldn't explain it. What you were being told may not have matched the sudden pull toward truth, the strange urge to separate, or the rising clarity you felt. During these times, Archangel Michael was getting you ready for what is to come. It could be an unplanned conversation, an admission, or even a moment of silence that says more than words ever could. Any of these things could be the sign. In contrast to what you might fear, the sign will not harm you. It will release you, not punish you. You will understand things that clear up the emotional fog you have been living in. You will understand why some things never aligned right away, why some promises were always delayed, why some conversations felt unfinished, and why their presence always had a slight tension. Something powerful will shift within you the instant this sign appears. The emotional weight you have been carrying will start to fall off. The confusion that kept you from thinking clearly will go away. The bond that seemed impossible to break will suddenly become less tight. The clarity will be like the sun rising after a long night. In ways you didn't know you had been dimmed. You will feel like you are coming back to life. What does Archangel Michael want you to know? This exposure is not the end of anything important. For everything holy, it is the protection. It is God's way of keeping your heart from getting too close to someone who cannot give you the stability and certainty you need right now. It is heaven rearranging your feelings so that the next part of your life can start without someone else's unresolved fears getting in the way. This is the most powerful part. As soon as this exposure calms down, a new alignment starts to form around you. Your spirit starts to draw in people who are ready to love and support you, to tell you the truth without hiding, and to follow your calling without shying away. As you become a better version of yourself, you stop putting up with emotional instability. You choose relationships that feed your spirit instead of ones that drain it. Instead of delaying, you seize opportunities that align with your destiny. Archangel Michael shows me a picture of a path that was blocked but is now clear. The exposure gets rid of the obstacle, clears the fog, and shows the landscape ahead. Suddenly, something that was hard to understand becomes clear. Things that were heavy before become light. What felt uncertain at first gets a direction. This change will also show up in your body. It will be easier for you to breathe. Your mind will not keep going over old conversations. Your emotions will calm down like water. It will beat in a different way, steadier, clearer, and lighter. Because you will not have to carry something that wasn't yours. Your energy will rise in ways you haven't felt in a long time. This revelation is already being received by a part of your spirit. You can sense the truth before it actually shows up. Your intuition wakes up more. Your inner voice gets stronger, and your emotional clarity comes back more as the exposure gets closer. You will not freak out when the exact sign shows up, which it will. You will not fall apart. You will not doubt your worth. Instead, you will feel like you know something deeply, being sure that heaven stepped in to protect your future and not mess up your present. Keep this message close by. What comes next will show you what heaven is planning to bring into your life after the exposure. I can tell that some of you aren't sure yet. It has been so long since you had clarity that your heart barely dares to believe when it finally comes. But child, now is the time to break that habit. Now is the time for you to take a bold step of faith. Right now, I want you to type Amen in the comments. But this time, do something different. Let this Amen sound like chains breaking. Let it sound like old cycles coming to an end. What sound does your spirit make when it says yes to everything heaven is getting rid of, and bringing in? Every Amen you type is a vote for your breakthrough in the spirit world. Don't let this chance go by without leaving your mark. Something a lot bigger than what you thought you were being lost. As you move into the next level of revelation, beloved heart, you may feel a light tension building inside you, as if your soul is drawing closer. The way you feel is important. Your spirit is awake, alert, and aligned with what Archangel Michael is about to reveal. According to this message is no longer the only thing you hear. You are taking it in. You are not just listening anymore. Change is happening to you. Your heart has been changed by heaven in ways you cannot see yet. And right now is another turning point in that secret work. A powerful image is currently being shown to me by Archangel Michael. You are standing on the edge of a beach as waves pull away in a long, deep way. When waves go back that far, it means that something bigger is building below. You are in the right spiritual season right now. How you felt when you emotionally pulled away from someone. The silence you felt but couldn't put your finger on. The shift that made you feel lost. It has all been a part of a bigger spiritual movement. When you felt like something was being taken away, it was really heaven pushing back the old tide so that a bigger wave could come in. It seems like you have been having emotional echoes lately. When you remember something someone said out of the blue, or play back a conversation that didn't seem important at the time, pay close attention to these times. There is no chance in them. They are not overthinking the situation. They are the last steps your intuition takes to bring together all the pieces before the truth comes forward fully. There are louder echoes when the exposure is close. Archangel Michael wants you to see what your spirit is already trying to tell you. Things are stirring below the surface of this message. Archangel Michael is telling you that someone you cared about or who had a big impact on your emotions has been going through their own spiritual heaviness. That fear, confusion, or emotional instability has nothing to do with you. Still, it has been getting in the way of your relationship with them. They didn't know how to deal with the storm inside them, so they started to pull away, hesitate, or act in ways that didn't make sense. You knew this was true before you could explain it. The truth was beating in your spirit beneath their silence. It is finally time for this person to tell the truth about how they feel, or what they fear. They are taking off the emotional mask they used to wear. You can see how upset they are inside, and soon something will come out. This is the sign that Archangel Michael has been getting you ready for. You will know it right away, whether it is through words, actions, avoiding, or a moment of honest truth. You will not be shocked. It will not make you less stable. It will only prove what your soul already knew. Remember that you are not losing anything that was meant for your future, says Archangel Michael. You are not getting in trouble. You are not being turned down. You are being moved around. There is no reason for the exposure to take anything away from you. This is taking place to keep what is being prepared for you safe. Heaven is getting rid of the emotional junk that is in your way so that your destiny doesn't run into instability. Soon, your heart will feel an instant clarity, like something fits together perfectly. You might not even be able to hear the words. The change might just happen as an undeniable shift inside you. A time when your mind doesn't ask questions. A time when your emotions no longer conflict with one another. There will come a time when your spirit says, "I finally see it." That will be the start of your freedom. Emotional weight that wasn't yours has been added to you. People have been holding you to expectations they were never ready to meet. You were trying to stay connected with someone who was shaking because they were shaking inside. Now, heaven is breaking the cycle that you couldn't break on your own. Archangel Michael shows me that something amazing starts after the exposure. You start to get back to who you are. As time goes on, you start to remember who you were before the chaos. You feel like you have more energy. You feel like your confidence is coming back. Your spirit starts to breathe again. One day you will wake up and find that the weight you have been carrying for a long time is gone. You might even be confused about how you carried it for so long without realizing how heavy it was. The emotional fog will lift, and a deep peace will take its place. A peace that doesn't depend on other people giving you answers. A peace that doesn't depend on someone else picking clarity. The peace that comes from finally being in line with the truth. But this is what Archangel Michael really wants you to hear right now. Once the exposure is over, heaven will send you something odd. A blessing, chance, connection, or shift that fits your spirit like nothing else has ever done. You will not have to go after it. You will not need to question it. You will not need to question it. You will not need to guess. It will feel steady. It will have a pure feel. The version of you that is coming out right now will feel aligned with it, and then you will know why heaven had to get rid of everything that wasn't stable before it got there. Things are not over yet. This makes room for something bigger, better aligned, and more destined. Keep this message close by. Once your emotions are cleared, what comes next will show you what heaven is planning to bring into your life. The next words will lift your spirit because they will tell you something about your future. Chosen soul, as you move into the next part of the revelation, the atmosphere is beginning to shift once more in a subtle, powerful, and unmistakable way. Archangel Michael is pulling your spirit forward as if he were leading you through a small space where the air is dense with meaning. You might feel a strange warmth rising in your chest, or your thoughts becoming still. This is your mind getting ready for what is coming next. Now you are inside this message. Instead of just on the edge, you are in the middle of it all. The truth is all around you and is slowly coming out. As Archangel Michael gets closer, he shows you a depth you weren't ready for before. He shows me something really cool. The emotional falling apart you have been going through was not destruction. It was cleaning up. Every moment of confusion, every sudden heaviness, every energy shift, and every tense silence you noticed was heaven separating you from what would have hampered the next part of your life. Things that cannot go up with you start to fall away when spiritual elevation is close. So slowly but surely, some conversations, relationships, and expectations in your life have started to fall apart. It is not a mistake. It is God rearranging things. You see, the exposure you were prepared for is only one aspect of the revelation. On the other side, which Archangel Michael has been watching over up until now, things are being rebuilt, renewed, and fixed. What heaven is getting ready to put in your life after this emotional clearing is much better than what is being taken away. Your spirit feels it, even if you cannot see it yet. That sudden, quiet feeling of excitement. That is the future calling you. That sudden boost of confidence you feel, that is heaven making something stronger than it was before. That growing clarity that seems to take the place of the confusion bit by bit. Your destiny is now in line with your path. Archangel Michael shows me a vision of you walking forward on a path that wasn't well lit before, but is getting brighter with each step. There is no longer any weight on your heart. No longer does your spirit fight against uncertainty. You are getting ready for a season when emotional heaviness will not define your days. There will be peace this season, not just sometimes. A season when you draw people who respect your presence rather than just wanting it. People who are as strong as you are and don't just admire it. There are some people whose spirits are strong enough to not shake your foundation. But heaven wants you to know what is really been going on inside you before this season starts. Not a single tear has been shed. You have been getting loose. There has been no loss of clarity. You have been getting smarter. You have not been left behind. You have been sent somewhere else. You haven't been left behind. You have been chosen. There is a difference. Archangel Michael wants you to really feel it. The emotional falling apart was needed because heaven was letting go of the last ties to a version of yourself that isn't serving your calling anymore. You have been carrying emotional memories, patterns, and expectations from previous seasons that are not appropriate for your upcoming chapter. This is why you recently experienced a sudden inner shift. Your spirit was moving past old wounds and into a new place of alignment. The exposure you felt is not the end of the path. It means that the doorway is open. A version of your life that looks nothing like the one you are leaving behind is what is on the other side of that doorway. Opportunities that were blocked before start to appear out of nowhere. Relationships that used to drain you are ending, so that you can make room for those that make you feel better. Feelings of clarity are getting better in ways you never thought possible. A new sense of who you are growing in your spirit, like the sun rising over dark water. Archangel Michael wants you to know that the weight you have been carrying lately is not a sign that you failed. It was the stretching that comes before the expansion. It was the popping sound that comes right before release. The shaking that happens right before clarity comes is what it was. That emotional pressure was okay with God because it shows you what comfort hides. Pressure brings out the truth. Pressure makes intentions clearer. Now that the revelation is almost finished, pressure helps to prepare the spirit for it. Something beautiful is coming into your life. There is a blessing, a connection, a shift, or a breakthrough that comes with stability, honesty, and perfect timing. Heaven didn't want this blessing to be tainted by someone else's emotional turmoil or weighed down by their own. That is why the exposure was important. This is why the emotional cleaning took place. That is why Archangel Michael quickly stepped in to help. Heaven is making room for something that fits your spirit, not your wounds. Something that makes you feel strong, not weak. Something that makes you go further, not farther back. This blessing will come to you before you even see it, even if you don't know what it is yet. Your peace will get better. It will sharpen your intuition. You will sleep better. It will make your heart feel better. Your steps will seem to be led. It will start to happen more often that signs show up as you breathe. You will feel heaven preparing the way. Archangel, trust what you feel, according to Michael. There is no end to the clarity that is rising in your spirit right now. Now that you are out of the emotional fog, you can see clearly. Now that you are out of uncertainty, you are in alignment. You are leaving cycles behind and moving toward your goals. Do not leave this message. The last part of this prophetic sequence will be shown in the next section. The end, the reason, and the blessing that heaven has been planning for you from the start. You have reached the last part of this message. Beloved child of destiny, you can feel it before the words even come out. There is something inside you that is rising, growing, and waking up. There is more to this than just the end of a revelation. This is the moment when a spiritual threshold is crossed. From the very first whisper, Archangel Michael has been getting you ready for this very moment. His presence now gives you the final clarity your spirit has been seeking through all the chaos, silence, and changes that have happened to you in the past few weeks. Take a deep breath, because what is about to be said is holy. It means completion. Release is contained within it. It holds your next season inside it. Archangel Michael is now telling you that every emotional pain you have been through, every tear you hid, every unanswered question, every quiet ache, every time you felt pushed back, and every shift you felt but couldn't explain was part of a divine progression. Heaven didn't forget about you. Heaven was getting you ready, getting your heart ready to separate from what was unstable, get your mind ready to see the truth without fear, getting your spirit in alignment with your calling by getting ready to rise. Every crack you felt in your emotions was a way for light to get in. Your exposure has not been a punishment. It cleans things up. It wasn't abandonment that caused the emotional breakdown. It was turning around. The fact that someone close to you made you feel uncertain was not a sign that you were not good enough. It was a sign that they weren't ready, piece by piece. Heaven has been separating you from relationships, expectations, and emotional knots that couldn't hold the weight of your destiny. You are not the same person you were when you put up with inconsistency. You are no longer the childlike person who took on other people's confusion. You are no longer the person you were when you were okay with half-truths, half-efforts, or unstable energy. Now, As Archangel Michael lifts the last veil, he shows me a very important picture. It is just the two of you, standing tall and not hunched over with fear, uncertainty, or emotional weight. You are in full authority, clarity, and spiritual alignment. Next up is not just the exposure of someone else. This is the revelation of who you are, the person you have been becoming below the surface. You that has been waking up through all of life's hard times. Heaven has been molding you through battles and victories that you cannot see. As the new season begins, you will finally understand why things didn't go as planned, why some people pulled away, why connections grew quiet, why opportunities fell through, and why your spirit became restless. There was protection in every delay. Every ending was a change. Each disappointment was a doorway you weren't supposed to go through. Archangel Michael tells you that your spirit will reach a level of peace you haven't felt in a very long time when the exposure is complete, which is coming up faster than you think. A peace that doesn't change based on how other people feel, a calmness that stays even when someone moves away, a peace that doesn't depend on assurances from outside sources. God's clarity has brought about this peace, knowing that heaven is or chest is what gives you peace. And child, the benefits of this exposure are not insignificant. Heaven has kept something from us, not to take away from you, but to keep you safe. A link, a breakthrough, a chance, a change that has been waiting for the right time for your spirit to be strong enough to hold it. Heaven will not add more oil to a vessel that is already unstable. It had to be cleared first because of this. As you move forward, your heart will no longer bend toward people who cannot hold it together. The relationships you are about to enter feel like peace, not chaos. You are moving into a purpose that doesn't feel forced. You are moving into blessings that will not make you feel bad. You are entering a state of spirit clarity that is unshakable by anyone else's uncertainty. Archangel Michael really wants you to get this. You are not entering a worse season. You are walking into the one that was meant for you. You will not be left behind. You are being pushed forward. No one is going to be lost. You are getting better. Heaven brings everything else into alignment. Once you find yourself, you will see signs of the new season. The weight goes away. The anxiety goes away. You sleep better. Your mind gets clearer. Your heart gets stronger, and new divine opportunities start coming your way like a rising tide. Now is your chance. This is your shift. Take a look at your alignment, Archangel. With a sword of protection and a mantle of clarity, Michael stands over you. What used to confuse you will not affect you anymore. You will no longer be able to get to what used to drain you. What used to make you feel strong will no longer shape you. You are free. You are getting better. You are taking a step toward becoming the person that heaven always saw in you. The most important part of this message is now over. Finally, the revelation is over. Now the truth is out there. The most important part is now here. Your answer, heaven is watching what you do with the gifts you have been given. This is your last statement. So type these words in the comments. My destiny is now aligned. Think about what you are writing. Be sure when you write it. In a lot of ways, your future does depend on how well you write it. When you type those words, everything is closed. Your spirit record has been revealed by Archangel Michael. You are telling heaven, I am ready for a new season. I am all set for the alignment. The good things that have been waiting for me are here. Your comment should show that your spirit crossed over today. Type it now. This is the end of the message. This is the revelation for you. The next part starts. But kid, this is not the end. That is not all that heaven wants to say about your life. There are more revelations on the way, more clarity, much more alignment. Yet another breakthrough for every single one of them. I want you to be ready. Now is the time to subscribe. If you haven't already, you can make a promise to yourself that you will not miss what God is releasing by clicking that subscribe button. Let it be your statement that you are in constant alignment with the voice of heaven. Sign up now to make sure you don't miss out on what is coming. Before we end, please like, comment, share, and subscribe so that more souls can walk into the clarity that this message brings from heaven. You are helpful in more ways than you think. It turns into a lighthouse that points other people toward the truth. Also, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, not as an afterthought, but as a sign from God. You put yourself in a constant flow of divine alignment when you click the subscribe button. You are telling heaven, I want to stay in touch with the words you are letting out. I want to stay in sync with your prophetic words. You cannot just click a button to subscribe. There is a spiritual link. You have promised that you will not miss what heaven has to say, because you set yourself up to receive every time a new message is released. It will find you. You can lock in your alignment with the revelations that are still to come by pressing subscribe right now. As you read the comments, type, I step into my destiny. Now is the time to release the blessing code. If your spirit feels this shift, your support helps remove darkness from the lives of countless souls who are looking for God's voice at their most fragile moments. Just as this message has lifted a veil from your spirit, you are not supporting a platform when you give. For someone who feels the same heavy weight you did, you are sparking a spiritual rescue. When we do something, the Lord's word comes to life. What you release for my kingdom, I will multiply back into your life. Heaven is whispering today. I am not just casually inviting you, it is a sign. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our KOFI community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus's plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Be brave and let your help be the key that heaven uses to let your next blessing in. One last invitation before we end. Think about who comes to mind right now. A friend who doesn't understand. A family member who is carrying heavy things. Someone who doesn't know which way to go and is at a crossroads. This message wasn't just for you, it was also for them. Send them this video right now. Send it. Send a text. Put it up. This prophetic word is more than just a video when you share it. You are sending out an anointing. You are letting breakthrough happen in someone else's space, and heaven opens a channel of blessing back to you the instant you start to bless someone else. God will send more of what you release to help other people to help you. Now is the time to share this and step into the fullness of what heaven is letting out. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He is extending his hand and inviting you into a protected, high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life. If you follow it, you will not just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional, but your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.